have live from Portland, Oregon, Mr. Richard Wilson, a hedge fund expert who will give us insight on the pros and the cons of investing in hedge funds and an overall perspective of hedge funds and what they do. My name is Samuel Ezerzer. Welcome to Money and Business on Radio Shalom, CJRS 1650 AM in Montreal, the #1 business show in North America. Montreal, the financial capital of the world, the city of joie de vivre. Montreal, the home of the Jazz Festival and the original Montreal Expos, and the home of the Montreal Canadian. Today's topic of discussion: why so many hedge funds are so frequently started and how to get started in a hedge fund's career. Today in our studio is Mr. Morris Cousineau from National Bank Financial. How are you?
I'm doing well, Sam. How are you doing today?
How's everything today?
Very well, very well. The weather's cooled down a bit. I think it's a little more comfortable now.
Is that right?
We've gone by our heat wave.
Good. And also in our studios, we have Mr. Gregory Lupu from SB500TradingOnline.com. How are you?
Great to see you, Sam. Great to be here.
Great. So tell me, tough to trade the market these days or what? Up and down? Volatile? What? What's going on?
Brutal.
Brutal, eh?
Brutal is the only word.
Wow.
Everything fell today.
It's really that hard to trade these days, or?
It's tough. One day up, another day down, then up, and it's tough. Ain't easy.
Exactly. Good. So Morris, can you introduce us our next guest here?
Sure, Sam. Our guest is Mr. Richard Wilson from Portland, Oregon. He is an expert in hedge fund marketing, capital raising, and fund startups, and has a following of 38,000 active members. And you can read up on him on hedgefundgroup.org. Richard Wilson is head of Hedge Fund Group, HFG, which now has over 38,000 active members and runs the #1 most popular certification and training program in the industry, the Certified Hedge Fund Professional, CHP designation program. Richard's an expert in hedge fund marketing, capital raising, and fund startups, and his firm provides services and assistance to funds within these areas. Most people on this call may know Richard from his blog, hedgefundblogger.com, but his other websites include hedgefundgroup.org and hedgefundtraining.com.
Good. What a great bio there, Richard. How are you, Richard?
I'm great. How are you doing, Sam?
Good. From Portland, Oregon, eh? How's the weather out there today? Is it as hot as Montreal here?
Yeah, no, it's pretty nice, actually. It's in the 80s. We get good weather here in Oregon about 3 months a year, and this happens to be one of them, so we're happy.
Good. I just want to wish you congratulations. You just got married, didn't you?
Yep, got married just about 2 weeks ago now.
I know, because the time I think you and I were communicating, I remember saying, hey, why don't we talk? And you said, I don't really have time. I just got married.
Yep. It's been busy time, busy summer for sure.
I know, and you were telling me that you went skydiving for your bachelor's party? I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah, I didn't want to have a traditional bachelor party, so we actually shot 18 holes of golf and went skydiving with about 15 of my friends, so it was a good time for sure.
Tell me something. I don't think your wife or your future wife at that time, she wasn't scared, right? No, you can go skydiving. You can do whatever you want right before you get married, right?
Yeah, of course. It was actually a surprise. I didn't know I was going until we kind of drove up to the jump site, so it was kind of a fun surprise during the bachelor party, actually.
Tell me, that wasn't your idea, was it?
No, but I definitely approved. It was a great time. It was crazy.
Wow, unbelievable. By the way, you do travel a lot. That's what I got from your bio. You went to Moscow, Brazil, Panama. Why is that? I mean, is it just you like traveling, or is it also for business?
It's always for business. And in Moscow, I went for a private banking conference, and we talked about raising capital and hedge funds and how they work with banks. And then in Brazil, I'm actually there 3 to 6 months of each year working with hedge funds and family office wealth management groups down there. So basically, hedge funds is a really global industry. Just in Sao Paulo, Brazil, there's over 500 hedge funds. And lots of times everyone thinks of New York and Chicago and America as being, the head of the hedge fund industry. And London is, close after that. But the truth is probably, 40% of all hedge funds are based outside of London and outside the United States, and they're really scattered all over the Middle East, Australia, Brazil, and they're just starting to kind of take hold within China and Russia and places such as that.
So hedge funds are it's definitely going global, because we all thought maybe just a European phenomenon or an American phenomenon. But what you're trying to say that you went to Moscow recently, right? Didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, and how do they perceive you as opening up as an expert on hedge funds?
Well, it's interesting. Basically, what they told me is that the wealthy in Moscow, who are advised by private banks and family offices, have traditionally had all their money in real estate. If you're rich in Moscow or in Russia in general, you own either a large industrial company or you own real estate, and you put your extra profits back into real estate, and you own large apartment buildings or business buildings, and then you collect your income off of that. And it's been done for so many generations that most people don't trust hedge funds there yet. But since the recent global recession, it's reminded people that they might want to diversify more, that there might be other ways to manage risk, and they might want to have their money in different types of assets besides just real estate. So the private banks there are seeing more interest in investors in hedge funds, and so there are a lot of Russians investing in U.S. and European hedge funds, and that naturally is laying fertile ground for more, Russian-based domestic hedge funds to get started up. So I think that it's going to take 10 or 20 years until the industry there has matured to the point where it is here in America right now, but it's definitely headed that way.
What about the Middle East? Do they like hedge funds? We're talking about Saudi Arabia and Qatar and even Israel. What about Israel? Have you been to Israel?
Right. Yeah. Well, I haven't been to Israel, but I do think that the Middle East is in the middle between the United States and Russia in terms of how mature their economy is, in terms of their involvement with hedge funds and that type of trading and CTA funds. And I think that there's a lot of money over the past 20 years that has been looking for great investments. So they haven't, in my experience, I haven't heard from anybody that everybody there invests in real estate. That's not a hurdle that they're trying to get past. So I think that people are more comfortable with investing in trading groups and trading firms in the Middle East than they are in Russia.
I see. Okay.